quick disclaimer before we start is that anything that I say, please take it with a grain of salt. This is my life story. These are the choices that I've made that have led me to where I'm at so far. I don't have all the answers, and the way that I live is not the only way to live. So take whatever you find useful. Hi, everyone. My name's Abby. I'm a non traditional student here at Stanford. Non traditional means that I'm older than the typical age for that grade. So right now I'm 23 and a rising sophomore. I'm studying electrical engineering and computer science. I'm also Mexican American, so my parents immigrated from Mexico. I'm first generation and low income. So throughout the videos, if I ever say fly, that's what I'm referring to. And one of the other main parts of my identity is the fact that I ran away from home. And I want to talk more about that. Like, how does it look like when I started again with $300 in a backpack and transitioning to a place like Stanford? So I grew up in Chicago and I went to public high school. During this time is when I was living in an abusive home, and things got worse when the pandemic hit because of the lockdown. At the same time, I had gotten accepted into Stanford, but I decided to defer for a year because I didn't want to do Stanford through Zoom. And instead, I got a job at Target. And not until November 2020, when I turned 19, I decided to run away from home. But I know you may be thinking, like, isn't that a little too old to be running away from home? Not necessarily, because I grew up in a strict Mexican household, so I wasn't really allowed to do anything by myself. So I wasn't really taught how to be independent. But without the immense amount of help from my friends, I would have made it out. They helped me by like giving me a place to stay, helping me out with food, helping me with learning how to like just be an adult in general. Like for instance, my best friend's mom, she taught me how to manage money. She taught me about like credit scores, about savings account, investing and such, to the point where I'm able to be here and tell you this today. So after a year, I went to Stanford in September 2021. But honestly, with unresolved trauma and culture shock and just the fact that Stanford is super hard, all of these things combined, all this pressure, all this stress led me to doing poor life choices to the point where I was hospitalized at the psychiatric ward. And that's when I realized that I wasn't ready yet. So I decided to take a leave of absence for a year, but then that turned into 3 years. So after I decided to take a leave of absence, I had a friend at the time who he was a diesel technician, and he told me that they made good money. So I decided to go to Sacramento to UTI and learn how to be a mechanic. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know the difference between a ratchet and a wrench. So I started from the bottom, right? So eventually, with time, I got an internship. I learned more to the point where after those 3 years, I ended up being a journeyman diesel technician, which is the second highest position you could get as a technician or mechanic. But yeah, like being a diesel technician, honestly, I loved it. I miss it. It gave me a comfy lifestyle. Like I was able to have my own studio, my own car, and yeah, I mean, there's times where I wish I was under a semi truck repairing it. Fast forward to September 2024, I come back to Stanford, but I'm gonna be honest, the readjustment was hard. One was the academic aspect. I jumped back into calculus, and not gonna lie, I forgot how to do derivatives. So I had to learn stuff like that again. And the other aspect was socially too, because again, I'm 23 as a freshman, surrounded by like 17 to 19-year-olds. But regardless, I'm grateful for the experiences that I lived through and what I learned during those 3 years, and I will do it again. So you're probably wondering, like, what's next? Why am I here? Why am I telling you all this? To be honest, I've constantly been told that I should give a TED talk or write a book about my life story. A lot of people ask me, like, how did I get through all this? How did I survive all this crazy shit that I've been through? And to be honest, I hope that by sharing my experiences and what I've learned so far, that it can help someone else out. The other part is also the fact that there's a lack of representation in like Latinas in engineering, being fly at an elite institution like Stanford, or running away from home and what that looks like after. So I hope to be part of that representation. Thank you for watching, and if you wanna know more, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want to see specific content. But the last thing that I wanna end with is that if you're out there watching this from an abusive home that you're choosing to stay in to avoid the foster system, and you're wondering if it gets better, trust me, it does.